I want to know the player you're most excited to see that is not. I don't want to hear like the Cooper Flag. It's not like the biggest name guys. Like who? Tio, I'll start with you because you seem to be able to dig up some of these gems. Like who is the guy in college basketball this year that you're really excited to see? Whether it's the leap that he's going to take, the role that he's going to be in this year. Like who's on that list for you?
The guy I wrote down, it's mostly freshmen, but it's another guy is VJ Edgecombe.
Mhm.
The guy at Baylor who had a terrific summer, not a good summer, a terrific summer. Played for the Bahamian national team, played really, really well alongside some NBA guys that almost qualified for the Olympics. They were that close. And he was kind of the name that came out of their I guess region or bracket or whatever that everybody was like, holy cow, this guy's different. That's going to be interesting to see. There's so many transfers and so much movement. I'm also excited to see Xavier Booker if he's able to take a step forward. This was a super highly recruited guy at Michigan State. It's told me a lot, guys, that he decided to come back after not playing.
Mm-hmm.
So like that told me a lot about the kid, told me a lot about what Izzo's bringing. I think he's going to take a step forward. There's so many good players this year in college hoops. That's going to be the fun thing. And then this is also, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the last COVID year.
Yes.
Yep, it is.
Thank
Last
God.
COVID year.
So this is the last like super concentration of older players. This is the last year all that's going to happen. So power will return back to the freshmen next season, but this season it's going to be a lot of older guys, much of the same. It's going to be fun to watch.
I did my homework, Rob, and I've come up with 3 for you.
Okay.
Number 1 is a total gem, and you had to be a hardcore viewer to know the name, but he is a really multifaceted player, and I think he's going to be a perfect fit for Tommy Lloyd. His name is Anthony Del Orso.
Yeah.
And he transferred from Campbell. This kid is a bucket. He's got a European flair to his game. He's from Australia. He plays, the game just slows down for him. He's got this ability to move the basketball in a really unique way. Stylistically, I think he is going to be really, really fun to watch this upcoming season. Second player, Derek Queen at Maryland. In the DMV, this is a big get. This is a big get for Kevin Willard.
Massive.
Derek Queen is going to be the starting 5 for this team. You know, he and Julian Reese are going to team up, and Reese is a stud. Julian is one of the best bigs in the Big Ten coming in this season. So, how does Derek Queen fit into the equation there?
You know where he's from, Fanta?
Where is Mr. Queen from?
In the words of Randolph Childress, Baltimore, Maryland.
Yep.
Marlin.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Marlin.
That's right. I mean, this Baltimore kid who I think is going to be phenomenal for them. And then number 3, I'm going to give this guy some love. I think the 3 of us know how good he is. I really want the country to know how good he is this year. So it's not like he hasn't shown us his capabilities, but I am excited to see year 2 of Josh Hubbard at Mississippi State.
Yes, that's a good one.
At Mississippi State. America, if you don't know the name Josh Hubbard, go on YouTube and look up some highlights. He's electrifying. The Bulldogs can be a top 25 team again under Chris Jans. How about the job Chris Jans has done at Mississippi State?
Did anyone doubt that Chris Jans was going to find a way to be able to get it done? I don't think anyone doubted that. Like that dude could just coach his nuts off. And I mean that in the most respectful way that you could possibly say someone can coach their nuts off.
How about the fact that Josh Hubbard, who can't be, I mean, he's listed at 5'10", there's no way. Playing alongside Kanye Clary, who's 5'11". So
electric, dude.
It's going to be
much fun.
Give so many headaches to these coaches because everybody tries to recruit these 6'4", 6'5" guards because you want to be big and positionless. That's all cute until you got to bring the ball up against a dude who's 5'9", who will not leave it alone. It is so uncomfortable to play against guys like that. That's going to be awesome. One guy, and just because I'm on my Mountain West kick, Javen Buchanan, who transferred from a Division II school to Boise State, is really good. And I'm excited to see how it translates there. There's so many good players this year.
I love that you're like, yeah, Boise State's got this D2 kid. I can't wait to see him play. You're
Boise
no
State.
longer,
Boise State beat a bunch of guys like high major, like power forward
look, T.O.,
level
all I'm going to
guys.
say is I'm revoking your status as a Big East guy. You are
Huge Mountain
officially,
West guy.
you're
Massive
officially
Mountain
and
West guy.
only a Mountain West guy these days. That's it.
No,
That's all
that's
you
not
got.
true. I was actually you say that. I'm ready for Thunder and Lightning at St. John's too.
Well, look, the guy that
Thunder
I
and
had,
Smith and
Lightning.
Kadari Richmond.
yeah. So there's,
Get
I had a
ready.
couple names. I had a couple
Thunder
names
and
written
Lightning.
down. Two of them, I'm really curious what they can be. They were kind of the Robin to a Superman last year, and I'm curious what Braden Smith and Cam Jones will be in a bigger role, as kind of
like that.
the more of the face of their programs. I'm really, really excited to see how Khalif Battle fits at Gonzaga. I think if Khalif Battle can buy into the idea of being the spark plug sixth man off the bench for that program, that they are going to find a way to be able to compete for a national. I think, to me, Gonzaga is closer to being in that conversation for the top 3 teams in America than they are being like the outside the top 10. I think they're going to be very, 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 very good this year. And then the last guy I had written down was Kadari Richmond. Like, if you could take a human being and give them the specific attributes that will be the best that can fit into a Rick Pitino defense and a Rick Pitino system, what you do is you build Kadari Richmond. That's what you do. You take Kadari Richmond and you put him in a Rick Pitino defense, and you let him kind of get out there and pressure, and you let him play that like 2-2-1 junk defense, and you let him kind of do the things that he can do best playing for Rick Pitino, who, by the way, will not tolerate any of let's just say the red flags that have been around Kadari in the past, right? Like, I think that he is going to have an unbelievable season. And I think that there is the potential that he could end up being Big East Player of the Year for a team that ends up being top 25. And I also think that there's the potential that this thing can go completely belly up and St. John's can finish under 500 because they don't have any shooting anywhere on that roster. But I cannot wait to see it. Like, I think Kadari Richmond is going to be so much fun playing a Rick Pitino system.
I like DePaul's roster too.
By the way, did you get the text that I sent you? Yeah, you're who was the guy at DePaul that you loved a couple years ago? You texted us in August about him.
brutal. So
Fisher.
Caleb Murphy.
Caleb Murphy.
He got
Caleb
hurt.
Murphy.
He got hurt. He didn't ever really get to play. Different ordeal. Bryce Hopkins coming back from an ACL.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one. Wesley Cardet. How does he go along with some of these guys that are coming back? Providence is going to be good.
Yeah, and look out.
And I can't wait to hear all that bullshit.
Look out for Zach Fremantle, Undertaker style, coming out of the casket here. You got Davion McKnight back at point. Look out for Ryan Conwell. Sean Miller is extremely high on him. Folks, there's 2 coaches in America you shouldn't bet on to have a second straight bad year. Okay?
Sean's one of them.
Sean Miller's one of them, and the other is Mick Cronin.